Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Vishnu Dutt, and today we are talking about one of the most interesting buzzword, right? And that is LLMs, large language models. So the issue here is that people think that LLMs is really hard, right? But the whole sole agenda of this entire webinar is just one thing, that we want to get something, what exactly this word meaning, what exactly this LLMs meaning, right? And how they work. And I'm 100% sure that because it has lot of things to cover, I won't be able to cover fully in these 40, 50 minutes or 1 hour, but you will go, I mean, you will learn something out of it, which is going to be very, very interesting. So be patient with me, right? Be patient with me for the next 40, 50 minutes. And I am assuring you that doesn't matter if you are a network engineer or if you are not an engineer at all, you will get something out of this webinar, 100%. So let's see what we have in this webinar. First thing first, whenever we want to understand anything, believe me, in my any of my courses, I just want to explain things from characters, right? And in the last course was very, very interesting. I taught something which I have never ever taught, right? I taught personal finance to people, personal finance to network engineers. I taught how human networking work, because this is one of the most important skills in this network or in this AI era, right? If you really want to see, just have a look at it. So we have two characters from our previous course also. We have Mr. Rahul and we have Anjali, right? Both are brilliant network engineers, no doubt about it. And Rahul was there in our previous course. He's so happy. He's saying that now my personal finances are sorted, right? I have the runway. Means if my job goes because of the AI, then I have some time at least, right? And that time is almost 1 hour, 1 year, and the runway is with me, right? And he was also saying that now I am starting building my human network also, means I am talking to people, which was never my area, right? And this was the also learning from my previous course, that what is going to happen if AI take overs, right? Or people lose job. So don't worry about, very, very simple course. If you want to have a look at it, it's one of the most interesting thing which I have ever created, right? But now the question arises, the learning from the previous course was definitely we need to do savings or investing, no doubt about it, so that it can come to our help when we are in problem. Then we need to build human network. Why? Because if any jobs comes out, if any opportunity comes out, it should reach to us, right? And that is what human networking do for us. The third thing, and the very, very important, is the skill, right? And this skill part is going to we will be talking about here, right? And now Mr. Rahul says that understanding or the learning AI is what I think difficult, right? Because people use so many words. People say large language model, people say RAG, people say weights, parameters, these many billion parameters. But believe me, Anjali, I am not able to understand anything. But yes, I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, but I do not know how exactly these things are working behind the scene, right? And sometimes when I ask it to do a configuration, when I ask it to explain a concept, it explains so well that I thought that, do my company need is going to need me in future, right? And that is the question we all have asked, believe me, right? Anjali said that, yeah, means for the most of the people, the AI is scary, right? And of course, useful. There is no doubt about it. It's useful, right? But how it is working, and if we do not know how a particular thing is working, and it's a human nature, if we do not know how things are working, we have a fear of it, right? If you go back into the history, when people saw first time raining or this lightning, right, they had a fear because they didn't understand what is happening. And that is what, in the mind of a lot of IT folks, a lot of network engineers, a lot of engineers, because they don't understand what is happening behind the scene. They don't get it that what exactly or how ChatGPT or Claude is generating so much, right? So now Anjali, if I introduce them once again, Rahul and Anjali both are network engineers, but Anjali is actually very good with respect to reading. She reads a lot. And now she is saying, Rahul, if you want to remove fear of anything from your mind, just learn it, right? And don't worry, I am here for you, and I will be talking about artificial intelligence, right? Absolutely from scratch today. And we will try to explain how exactly things work. So these are the two characters which are going to be with us during this whole webinar and the course which is coming on the same topic, right? So I think we are on the same page. Let's talk what is going on between Anjali and Rahul. Anjali asked the simple question now, right, to Mr. Rahul. Rahul, I know that AI is scary, as she is saying, right? And you just said that AI is actually scaring. But can you tell me one thing? What do you think? How ChatGPT or how Claude or any chatbot like Perplexity or anything which you are working on, how exactly it works, right? So Rahul is saying that, okay, I will give you my understanding. And believe me, this is the understanding of almost every engineers I met, right? That was the understanding of my own, right? So what Rahul is saying? Rahul is saying, right? It's a simple thing that we have a machine, okay? And we give all the data, all the data of internet to it. We gave this machine all the books. We gave everything, whatever the humanity have in the written form, right? We gave all the things to this machine. And this machine is so huge. It spans multiple data centers. It has so many CPUs, so much of the power, right? Once I fed all the data into this machine, I just simply ask few questions and it answers, right? For example, I say, what is computer networking? And it is going to explain it. Why? Because it has read everything. It will go and search this message. It will search this pattern, right? What is computer networking? Because it has lots and lots of articles written on computer networking, right? It will see those articles and then tell you maybe something from this article, something from this article, something from this article, right? And this is how the chat GPT works. Believe me, this is what we all understood, right? To begin with, this is my thinking, and this is means I have interviewed many people. Believe me, this is the understanding of many, many people. If I meet 10 people out of 10, 9 have this understanding. One is genius, we all know, right? They think at different level. But then Anjali asked a simple question. See, I am opening the chat GPT right now, right? And I am giving it this prompt or this question. And she's saying, explain Newton laws of motion. Only 3 lines in Bollywood style. Bollywood, we all know where we have Hindi movies production, right? And it's one of the most interesting industry, entertaining industry also, we all know. And see what ChatGPT has produced, right? It has produced the lines which have never ever written in the history. This guy is generating the new lines. What was my understanding? My understanding was, or the Rahul understanding was, we feed the machine all the data, right? And then it go pattern match and give the output. But Anjali changed this perception totally. My perception was whatever is there, whatever was there in the history, whatever was there in the books, it just pattern match and give us. It doesn't produce anything new, right? But see, it has produced the things, the lines which are never ever written into the history, which are never ever written into any book on any internet, right? And this thing actually is scary, right? That how a machine is thinking, how a machine is generating something which was never written, right? And that is basically we are saying it is generating something, or it is a form of generative AI, right? And that is why I see the face of Mr. Rahul. If you all agree, give me a thumbs up that this was my understanding. But then when we see all these things, our understanding just got changed, right? And then we started thinking that let's learn it more. And here is the problem. The problem is when we try to learn what is exactly happening behind the scenes of the chat GPT, right? There are so many terms, there are so much of mathematics, there are so much of difficult algorithms. Believe me, I'm not going to simplify those algorithms, right? I tried, by the way. I tried in my machine learning. See, what I thought that I will make you all understand every algorithm behind ChatGPT or something, and that is why, with the same intent, I created a course, machine learning from scratch, where we did exactly this. We learned a little bit of probability, we learned a little bit of calculus, and we learned how machine learn, right? But the problem is when you give lots of information regarding the algorithm mathematics, our mind gets shut, right? Nobody want to go again back into this 12th or 11th or 12th mathematics, right, and learn. So the agenda of this webinar or the upcoming course is not to explain you the algorithm, not to explain you the mathematics, but try to understand how the things are working, right? Without going deeper into the mathematics and algorithm. So we should be all in the same page that if AI is something which is just matching the pattern from the internet or all the data, whatever it is fed, right? Then it will generate only that thing which is already there. But the problem is AI is generating which is not there at all, right? Very, very interesting. And by the way, if you guys have any doubt, any question which is coming to your mind, just write in the chat and I will be happy to take it, right? I will be inviting you to the stage to repeat your question also, right? But because we have so many people here, more than 70 people are here, right? If I open the stage for everybody, it is going to be difficult. So be patient with me, right? If you are losing the track, just get a coffee. But believe me, I'm not going to teach you a lot of mathematics, not going to teach you a lot of terms. Simple, how exactly things are working, right? And then we think that how much we get. Let's see. So now I think we all are on the same page till now that how ChatGPT works. Whatever the wrong image we have is gone with the Anjali's one question, right? But then Anjali said one thing, right? If you see anything like ChatGPT and Claude, I have read that behind the scene something is working, some machine is working, right? On a specific logic, and that is known as large language model. I'm not saying large language model is entirely Claude or entirely ChatGPT. I'm just saying it is the heart of ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or any AI which you have ever heard. Large language model, right? Most of the people just concentrate on this word large, that there is a model which was released by a ChatGPT or Claude, which is having billions of parameters, billions of weight, this and that, right? Believe me, the most crucial thing in these three words is the language, right? But why language is so important? Try to understand. I am having 19 years of experience in computer networking. I decided to share my experience with somebody who just joined my team 2 years, right? What I'm going to do, maybe I can write a big document of my experiences and head into over. What I just did, I write everything in a language. I write my entire 19 years in a language. That is that write up, right? Or maybe the other way, I can sit with this guy, whiteboard, and this is my favorite thing to do. How I am sharing my knowledge with respect to this guy by sharing or using the language which I know, right? Language is critical. The knowledge flows because of the language. If you understand all the things, means your laws are written in language. All the science, medicine, everything is written in the language. If the language is gone, suppose consider a world where there is no language, we don't understand anything. It means that we lost the complete human civilization, right? Language is something which is very, very important. And this is something which we all humans are proud of, right? We developed it. We wrote so many things. We built the internet, right? And then somebody thought, let's see, computers have software. Software are rules which we write, and then the machine execute those rules. That is what software is, right? But then somebody think, can machine also learn language? And if they can learn language, if they understand language, then basically they can do whatever human can work, right? See, why we call us as a knowledge worker? We read something, we take a meaning out of it, then we can write and we can take decision on the basis of that, right? Again, the language. If the machine can do the same thing, it can also do the knowledge work. And this is exactly what is happening. And this is exactly what is disturbing us a lot. That now there is something, the machine itself, which is doing my work. Why? Because it understands language. Because my knowledge work include language, right? Somebody thought that if I can taught machine the language, if machine understand the language, then basically it will be having the same, almost same intelligence like us, right? Previously, what this computer used to do, this computer used to store the data. For example, we have a biggest computer. What can we do? We can store maybe thousands or trillions of book in the memory of this computer, just like this shelf, right? But believe me, shelf doesn't read the book. Just it holds the book. But then somebody thought, what if this shelf, what if this machine can read the book also, can understand the book also? It is going to be amazing thing, right? And believe me, this is not the work of one single person, right? It cannot be, because teaching language to a machine is a mammoth task, right? And believe me, it is not a work of a single person. It is a work of many, many people. And it started 110 years back from now, 110 years, around 1916, 1913s, believe me, right? So the whole soul game was that, can we teach machine language? If we can teach machine the language, if a machine understand the language, I'm not saying that it should understand just like us. No, maybe some other way. But if it understand, then basically it can do a lot of things, right? Which we are doing. See, previously it is not the case that the AI was not there. If you see that if you go to airport, there is a face detection system, that is AI. Almost your many things in the past are AI. Means Google, if Google is recommending you some video, that is the AI, right? But the problem with previous uh, advancement in technology was that they were very narrow. For example, somebody built the calculator. To whom the calculator impacted? There were people who were sitting in the stock market. They were very fast they do very fast calculations. The calculator replaced them, right? But it replaced the whole engineers, almost everybody in the population. No, right? There were many technological advancement happened, but those were narrow. But if there is a technological advancement in the language which happened in 2022, it is going to impact all of us, right? So the whole soul thing is, in the LLM, language is very, very important. It means that if we have built a large language model, we are saying these machines, These machine can understand language, right? And I said there is a history behind it, and it's a big history. It is a history of 110 years, right? But believe me, when we want to teach a machine language, right, in these 110 years, we understood only one thing. If we can teach what comes next to this machine, right, machine can understand the language. From last 110 years, we are just trying to teach this machine what comes next. What is the meaning of it? The meaning is simple. Can a machine guess or predict the next word? Right? For example, if I write a simple statement, right? Sun rises in the, and I ask you, what exactly will come into the blank? And without any thinking, right? You can say, and you are going to say east, right? You predict this word so well. You have read it so many times, right? But now there are some sentences in which you have to use your brain more. Why? Because it needs a bit of understanding. For example, I write a word here that Ravi, born in Delhi, so its mother tongue is what? And most of you will be thinking that Delhi, Vishnu is talking about northern part of India. That means in northern part of India, mostly people speak Hindi. So here is Hindi. See, our mind is doing marvelous thing. Our mind is doing amazing thing. When we read the sentence, it is not the thing that we just predict on the basis of whatever is coming previously, right? On the same word. No, we are not predicting on the basis of this is. We are not predicting the word Hindi on the basis of just Ravi or Rahul, right? We are predicting the next word on the basis of all these words. We understood it, right? It means that the good guess, what is the good predictability? Good predictability means if you want to predict good, it comes with the understanding. If you are predicting Hindi here, see what your mind has done. Your mind is saying that somebody is there who lives in Delhi. Then their mind thinks Delhi is in northern part of India, right? And that you said there basically. So basically your mind is associating with the location. And then what at that location, what language speak? If I replace this with Tamil or the Tamil Nadu or maybe Chennai, means Rahul born in Chennai and his mother tongue is, and then you will immediately say it is Tamil, right? It means that predict, if you want to predict something, you need to understand it, and the good prediction always comes with a good understanding. Believe me, prediction is not a cheap trick. It requires understanding. So everybody say that if I can teach a machine what comes next, right, it means that I'm teaching a machine how to predict, and prediction comes with the understanding. So if I teach a machine what comes next, then machine will be having that knowledge or that understanding if it is predicting correct again and again. Believe me, guys, right? And keep this one sentence in your mind. Whatever is happening, whatever has happened over the year of 110, right? In 2022, the most advancement thing has been, which is the ChatGPT, right? Which is exactly doing the same thing. Given the number of inputs, given a sentence, what is exactly coming to next? What will come next? What word will come next? It's literally predicting one word on the basis of whatever the input you are giving, and then another word, then another word. And you must have read all these things, right? But let's see how exactly it happened. But before that, I just want you to sit with me for another 10 minutes to see the history, to see from where it began, right? It should come in somebody's mind, right? And believe me, if you understand that mind, if you want to understand, by the way, any concept, if you think it is very difficult, just go into the mind of a person who has built this concept. And in today's world, the research is very, very easy. Because if you can understand the mind of the person who has built the concept, you can learn the concept absolutely from scratch. It is not going to be difficult, believe me, right? But what we do, instead of learning what exactly going through the mind of those people, we just learn few books, right? How you can understand a VXLAN without understanding the root cause, why it came into picture, what was the problem in the VLAN. I'm just giving you example from the networking, but it is true. In any field, how can you learn the advanced LLM if you don't understand what problem it solved from exactly where it came, right? So another 10 minutes, maybe people say history is boring, but I find it very, very interesting because most of the tough questions, I got answer from history. Believe me. Having said that, let's talk about how over the 110 years, what exactly happens and what was happening, right, in history, in these people's mind. So when I go back to Russia around 1913, there was a guy, the name is Markov. Believe me, interesting. And this is the guy who has implanted something in everybody's mind, which became in 2022 your ChatGPT. And believe me, there was no machines, there was no computers in 1913, right? But this guy had the same question, right? And this guy was a mathematician. He was not looking into the computer. He wanted to prove something different. But interestingly, he discovered something. He discovered something which is the basis of today's ChatGPT, right? And he said that the language, whatever the language we have, or whatever the words or characters we write, are dependent on each other. Those are not independent. So this was the guy who was discussing or writing a lot of things on probability. Believe me, I do not want to go into the probability, but it is very, very easy, right? During that time, everybody was thinking that events are not dependent on each other. For example, if you toss a coin, right? When you toss a coin first time, how much you say that head will come, or how many times you would say the head will come. You will say the probability or the predict. If I do a prediction, then there are 50% chance head will come and 50% chance tail will come. If you do this again, second time, again the predictability or the probability will be 50%. If you do this 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, in the fifth time also you are going to say head can turns 50%, tail also can come 50%, right? It means that the probability or the prediction is not changing if you do the event maybe 1 time or 100 times, right? But this guy was saying that all the events are not independent. Some events are dependent, right? For example, I take an example of if I say I am sitting in northern India, right, in the month of February, and say what is the chance of raining tomorrow, and you say that there is no monsoon in February, so chances are very slim, right? Same North India, if I am in July and if I say that rain is going to July or August, that tomorrow is going to be rain, then you can say, yeah, there are high chances of getting rain. It means that means whether rain will come tomorrow or not depends on other situations also, right? This guy just wanted to prove this, and this guy has when he was wanting when he was proving it, he just took the example of language. He does the laborious work of writing 20,000 characters, 20,000 words along with that. And he showed that this language, the characters which are coming, are dependent on each other. One character depends on the previous one or the previous ones, right? It means that language can be predicted, right? And he was saying whatever is coming next dependent on the previous letters. Very, very interesting. If you want to learn about, means I can teach you. I have gone through his work, amazing work, but the problem is it is not going to give you anything. Means if you are curious, Please have a look. Just type in ChatGPT or Claude that what this guy did. But the most interesting thing which happened in 1913 was he said, language is predictable, right? So, enjoying learning? If you have reached till this point of the video, I think you are enjoying learning, and I just do not want to waste your time. I would like to say that if you want to see this complete course, this course is available on my website, which is www.bridgewhy.com. Please have a look at it. And along with this course, there are so many other courses available. If you want to start your networking journey from the beginning, from the scratch, or if you are a seasoned networking engineer, please have a look at this website. So you can see here is my website. The link of this website is also available on the description area just below this video. Thank you so much and enjoy learning. Very, very interesting. Then nothing happened after that, right? But somebody took this idea in again 1951, and believe me, this guy is somebody whom every network engineer should remember. Whenever you send a packet from one place to another packet, this guy work comes. This guy work comes into picture, right? This guy name is Michael Shannon. I think you have heard about this his work, information theory, which is the basis of tomorrow's current computer networking. We all know, right? So he took this word and he used to play game with her wife, right? He just used to give him a book and then tell starting 5 words, right? And then ask her to predict the next one. And sometimes out of 10, maybe 5 times she was able to predict. Maybe other time she was not, right? And he did some interest. The first thing on the paper he has built, right? See, in 1951, there was no computer. Means if there were computer, it was not with Michael Shannon, right? So he has written something in the paper itself to predict the next word, right? Again, I'm talking one simple thing. The idea was to predict what will come next. That is the thing. That is everything is working on, right? They want that if the language is predictable, then basically it will be great. We can teach it to the machine, right? How we are going to teach it? See, these guys don't know that in the future, whatever the work they are doing will become the LLM, large language models, right? Interesting. Now, next thing which happened around 1980s, the guy from IBM, he said, no, 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 what we are going to do. And you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, from 1950, you are jumping to 1980s. What happened between them, right? People think that machines can be taught just like we teach the students the language in their school. We teach lots and lots of rules, right? And then we see the things in action. So from 1950 to 1980s, we were just teaching rules to the machines. And believe me, the language is something which is very, very different. It doesn't work. Means all the rules can't define a language. Means every rule has exception, exception has exception. So it is very, very difficult. And in 1980, people understood it. This approach is not going to be great. If we want to teach machine a language, we can't teach all the rules of the world, right? It took 30 years. See, we are trying to understand LLMs by sitting in 1 hour, but it is 110 years long history, right? But then this guy come, he said, no, 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 we are not going to teach the rules of the language to machine. And why I am creating this relay? Because it is the relay of events, right? Started with Markov in Russia, then it comes to Michael Shannon. He did something, and then it comes to IBM, this guy, who is doing something really, really interesting. And he is saying that let's not teach the machine all the rules. What we are going to teach the machine, let's count. For example, sun rises in the east, right? That is going to be one count. Means sun rises in the east. This will be one count. And give machine lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of data. And it will count how many times eastward will come, and then on the basis of it predict. Very, very interesting. And believe me, his experiment got a success. The system which were built on these rules, right, And his system, which is built on this counting, which word comes after which word, right? The brute force, all the data. His system won in many cases, right? But the problem with this approach is, right, we can count whatever is there, but in our normal language, whatever we speak, sometimes we speak, or many times we speak the word which are never spoken, right? If this machine gets those word or sentences, believe me, it will fail. Again, the point is whether we can predict the next word, whether we can predict what will come next in a sentence, right? Very, very interesting. So I think it's been 35 minutes and there are chat. Okay, there are some questions. So no worries, there is nothing, which is okay. So I am extremely sorry, Himanshu said it's Claude Shannon, not Michael Shannon. Absolutely, you are right. I'm so I'm so sorry for that, right? So now let's talk about what will happen next. And one very interesting thing happened in 2003. And believe me, guys, everything, whatever you read or whatever you see, everything, whatever you see in LLMs, it's actually dependent on this thing. And it's a major breakthrough. In 2003, somebody, because the problem was if the machine will, means the problem with the counting was if machine is presented a new sentence, it will be a problem for it, right? Because it has never counted it, right? So this problem comes to 2003. Somebody in Canada, the name was Joshua, I think, right? So what he did, he arranged the words, very, very interesting, the words, right? Sun rises in in a piece of a paper, on a map, right? The words which are having meanings, close meaning, they have put very closely to each other. But try to understand. I'm talking about means if the dictionary of the English says, suppose it is having 50,000 words, I am trying to put this 50,000 words into a map here, right? And I am expecting that the words which are having the same meaning, same nature, should come closer with each other. It's a mammoth task. But maybe this guy didn't build it for the 50,000 words, but he gave this idea that basically we can put the words, right? Again, the same thing we are doing. We are just predicting the next word. We just want to build something which can predict the next word in an efficient manner, right? With some understanding. 2003, all these guys put everything on the map, right? But there was a lack of scale in 2003. We can't put all the words. We can't have this kind of machinery in 2003, or the algorithm, maybe the algorithm were there, but which can bring these words, the similar words, closer together. But then 2013 happened, right? The Google engineer developed something which is very, very interesting. They built it for all the vocabulary, whatever we have. And they were successfully able to build a system or the map, right, of the words which are very close to each other, means whose meaning are very close to each other. And the major advantage of this approach is if you don't hear a particular sentence, if the machine didn't know a particular sentence, it can figure it out from the existing one, because now it has understanding, because now it has meaning, right? If you're thinking how these words are getting close, or it is very, very interesting. It's a branch of uh, you can say computer science which deals with this. There are algorithms for it, right? And if I talk, and you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, enough history, right? But keep this thing in your mind that in 2013 something remarkable happened. We were able to place all these numbers onto the map, right? In 2003 this guy put some numbers. In 2013 it happened at the scale, and also the number arithmetic, or the word arithmetic started. What is the meaning of arithmetic? See, arithmetic means we can add two numbers, we can subtract, divide, and whatever, right? Can we do this thing with the word? When the words are placed in such a manner, we can have their location, right? We can calculate the distance between them. If the distance between two words or the direction is the same and the distance between two words is very, very minimal, those are related to each other, right? It happened in 2013. Means, and that is what the example I gave in my short also, that if I have a king, if I remove men from it and add woman in it, it is going to give me queen, right? Such kind of arithmetic was possible after the building of such kind of a map, right, which was built by Google in 2013. And this is still one of the strongest piece of LLM. We all have this, right? Interesting. Now, enough history, enough people. Now let's talk about the LLM itself. So guys, whatever we have discussed till now and whatever we are going to discuss, one thing is there. We are going to predict the next word, right? So what I have written here, right? If we talk about today's chatbot, or if we talk about the LLMs, right? If I am mentioning that this is the response I am getting from ChatGPT, what ChatGPT is inside ChatGPT, we have an engine, right? And without this engine, ChatGPT can't work. And that engine is actually LLM, large language model. In 2022, they have released it, and the world is in shock after that. Right? So what exactly happening? We are giving this chatbot this sentence. Please explain what is computer networking. This chatbot is taking all these things in as an input. Please explain what is computer networking. And then on the basis of that is predict one word, which is say it predict the one word as computer, right? And then what we are going to do, we will be taking this prompt again, and we say that we have developed a word from computer. What should be the next word? The next word will come networking. The next word will come means, then connecting, then to. When we started using the ChatGPT first time, right, you must have noticed that the word is coming. It is not that they did something to mesmerize you, that what is that the words are generating, right? It is actually happening behind the scene, one word at a time, but it happens so fast. Interesting, right? But still, many of you must be wondering, Mr. Vishnu, that is what all I think we all know. What is new in this webinar? The new in this webinar is, let's look one layer deep into this, right? Give me your 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, and you will be amazed to see that how things are working. I am not going to the mathematics, believe me. I am not going to the algorithms. Those are going to be black box for me. But you presume that these things can happen using mathematics. Let's see what is happening. So somebody has decided, right? So again, as I mentioned, that suppose I give you a task of making a machine learn a language, right? You can do that. We all can do that if we sit together for long, right? But it is going to take a lot of time. But now if you see here that what machines are doing, sun rises in the, how do you know, east, right? Rahul dropped the glass and it broke. When I ask you, what is it in it? You can definitely go back and say, it is the glass. It is not Rahul, right? So this prediction, when what the word should come, right? The prediction comes with the knowledge. I just want to say that, right? So how exactly I am going to train this machine? How I am going to build this machine which can understand the language, right? So see what happened. From the same thing, we all know that whatever the vocabulary we use, right? If you see a biggest dictionary, if you count the number of words, right? People say it will come around 50,000 to 1.5 lakhs, right? I'm I'm calling them words, but there is something little, some concept which we call as a token, which might be combination of few characters, right? But for now, for the simplicity, let's take that we have all the words in the vocabulary, English vocabulary, which is 50,000, right? What we did, we arranged them, and I am just talking about now how we created this map of words. So we created a table of this in which all the rows, row number one, row number two, row number three, row number four, is one word from the dictionary or from this vocabulary, right? Then if I say my vocabulary is of 50,000 words, how many rows you can expect here? You can simply say there are going to be, Mr. Vishnu, 50,000 rows, right? And then we have some columns. See, on a word map or basically on Earth, we can just define a location or a word or a city or a particular pinpoint direction, right? Or basically place with two values we call longitude, right? With the two values only. And similarly, we can define the location of this word in this map using some numbers. Very, very simple, because if there are numbers, arithmetic can be possible, right? But my problem is that my mind, and it is very, very interesting, my mind can visualize or think only in three-dimensional. I can't see anything more than three-dimension. But here I am writing the numbers, which is defining the position of this word on here, right? Although I'm showing you 2D map, but can this map be 3D? Can this map be 4D? Can this map be 5D? Because placing the similar looking words with each other, believe me, it is a mammoth task. It needs more than three dimension, and my mind cannot think more than three dimension, right? If these things are not exciting you, that is perfectly fine, no worries. But my point is that I have my entire vocabulary and I have divided into 50,000 pieces, right? Or 50,000 words, and I'm defining every word with a number, every word location in some map which I can't even visualize, right? And this is the thing which all these brilliant engineers did. They do not want to visualize, which is not possible, right? But they know that mathematics will work in any dimension, right? The problem with all of us is we try to visualize that how basically these numbers, how these words are there on this map, right? We have a limitation. We can't visualize more than 3D, right? Interesting. So through some mechanism, you just understood, right? We have all these words which we can put on this map, right? But to begin with, this guy who was doing all these things, putting all these words, all this vocabulary onto this map, he just dumped all these words here without any logic. What do we want? We want the same kind of words, same meaning words closer to each other so that we can do the mathematics, right? Between them. But this guy just put this here, right? And if we put this here, definitely we will get some numbers if we want to get the position. So basically, to begin with, we have some random number. And this is where magic happens, right? We take all the words and we throw them on this map. And definitely they are going to take some position, right? You can ask me, Mr. Vishnu, you are talking about four dimension, which we can't visualize. Don't visualize it. That is perfectly fine. Why? Because our mind can't visualize, but mathematics will work there, right? I took all the numbers, throw them here on this map. They will take some position, but I am 100% sure they are, if I am throwing at random, the same meaning word will not come together. But then one magic happen, right? And by the way, I have explained this in my machine learning course. This magical box is nothing but an algorithm. That magical box has one special thing in it. It has the capability to calculate these numbers. It has the capabilities to bring the same meaning number closer with each other. And then you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, how is it possible? How this magical box work? And believe me, the thing which we used to say that 11th and 12th class mathematics where we have probability, statistics, calculus means integration and differentiation by the way, and we were saying all the time that this mathematics or the linear algebra, this mathematics will never will be means we won't be using all these things, right? Integration, differentiation, we never ever use it. But believe me guys, this magical box is full of this mathematics, right? I try to teach, by the way, in my machine learning course, I exactly showcase this algorithm word by word. Very, very easy explanation. Even I explain differentiation also without taking the name of differentiation, means calculus, right? So what exactly happens? So we have a magical box. So what we are trying to do, we have thrown all the dictionary words onto the map, and now we want all the words should come, the same meaning word should come together, right? So that we can do the arithmetic. So what we did, we take trillions of words, terabytes of data from the internet, right? And we created a text out of it, and this text may be in multiple files, right? I'm talking about trillion data, or sorry, trillion words or terabytes of data, maybe some word, so maybe some books, everything, right? And what this text will contain, this text will contain all the written words, all the written sentences, everything, right? And we are giving this to this magical box. We are saying, we have, for example, my first sentence or word was sun rises in the, right? If I give this things, right? What is the meaning of giving this thing? I am giving the coordinates or the numbers representing means this row to this magical box, then rises this row to this magical box, this row to this magical box, and this row to this magical box. And I say, predict the next word. And believe me, because words are means to begin with, I have given any number, any random number. It means that the machine or this magical box will produce any garbage, right? And it will say the best prediction is umbrella. Sun rises in the umbrella. No meaning at all. But this magical box has a special property. When it sees something is wrong here, it goes and fix these numbers. It goes and says that if I change little bit into these numbers, will it go little bit more closer to east? I am predicting umbrella, right? And by the way, from where it comes to know that the correct answer is east, because we are just showcasing is only partial word. Sun rises in the, we do not show this. We ask them to predict, and it is going to predict umbrella. Then we'll show it, no, it is not umbrella. This is east. Then it compares them and then readjust these values. By the way, readjustment of the value is the key, and this can be done with the very, very simple thing which is known as calculus. I do not want to go into the mathematics, but I am telling you, if you are really interested, just have a look at my machine learning course, right? And this is the one word I am saying, right? One sentence I am teaching, and I get little bit change in all these numbers so that Next time when something happen, I will be more closer to east than umbrella, right? But of course, on the basis of only one sentence, I cannot have all the numbers changed. So what I do, I just change a bit. Then I expect more text, more text, more text. And after billions of such rounds, I'm not talking about one or two. And that is where the computing power comes into picture. We didn't have the computing power. We couldn't do this. And machine learning is possible. This algorithm is possible because we have lots and lots of computing power now, right? So when we feed all these data, I'm talking about terabytes of data, right? What is the final result? The final result, we will be having all these 50,000 words, and then basically these rows filled with some numbers. And believe me, this number is actually the understanding. This number will become actually the logic. And by the way, all these numbers, whatever I have written here, is your weight. People call them parameters also. Really, really interesting, right? But yes, I have covered one thing on top of it, that how these numbers are calculated, how these numbers are nudged towards the correct or the number. I'm not saying that it is going to produce, means the whole sole thing is the process, whatever we are doing right now. This is known as training. In training, we show a word to the machine and ask it to predict the next word. If it is wrong, we this magical box change these number a bit. Then the new sentence come, another word come, another word come, another word come, right? And try to understand, after this billions of run, we will reach to this number which will have some knowledge, which will have some understanding. And believe me, these are the numbers, right? On the basis of it, whatever the LLM you are working is producing, right? But here is a catch in it, right? Mr. Vishnu, it should not be this much simple. Believe me, it is this much simple. But yes, if I give, means one, this machine is done. And if I ask that dog bit the man, one sentence. And if I say man bit the dog, although the second sentence is not possible, but what if I give it, right? The machine will think both are same. Why? Because the input is same. Dog bit the man, man bit the dog, right? And on what basis it is going to calculate the next word? It is going to calculate the next word on the basis of these four words, right? Still, I am not able to put the meaning that if these three words come together, right? Right. What is the meaning? How these words can be combined, right? So that is where another layer come into picture, which talks about between these words, right? And this is going to be the final board, by the way. What is happening here? I am giving all the internet, and this, for example, sunrise is in the east. What I am giving input to the first layer. The first layer I am giving input as all the numbers which are coming into the sentence, right? How these words are related with each other will go into the second layer. By the way, this layer can be multiple layers here, which comes it with own numbers, right? And then it will predict the word, the next word. Suppose it came as umbrella, which is wrong. This machine or this box will go back, fix this number, fix these numbers, and it happens at billions of time, right? Eventually we will be coming up with something like this. This number is actually your LLM, large language model, which comes with the dictionary, which comes with these numbers. We call this number, we call these uh, special words as the token. What is the meaning of token? We will be talking about in our next course. What is the meaning of these numbers, right? These are representing the position, the location of all the words, whatever we're talking in some space, which we can't even visualize, right? But why these LLMs are so costly? No, why nobody can be? Why not everybody can build them? Because try to understand from where these numbers came. These numbers came from training of entire internet data, entire internet data. And by the way, at the end, there is surprise. Just give me 1 more minute, right? So when you see a model, when you see a particular LLM, for example, one such LLM name is Olama, which is available for, which is trained by some other company. Means they have to spend million of dollars in training it, and they are giving it to you. What exactly it contains? It contains all the numbers which we are talking about, right? From where this number came, because this model was trained on trillions of words, and then this company came with the word. So when we download the Olama file, open model file, right, it will come with this word weight. How many weights? It will contain billions of such numbers, and that is what called the large language model. Then what was my dictionary? How many layers were there? It is written in the configuration file. See, these two files are the dead files. These are the numbers. You can't do anything unless some program runs them, right? You give this program input, it has weights, everything, it will generate the next. This is what exactly the same thing, right? The thing happened. So you download this LLM into your machine, was with just one command. Means if your machine should be powerful enough to run this, right? It will have the weight, it will have your vocabulary. Once you have these two things, just run one command, just run this program. This program is known as a runner, by the way. And when you run this program, believe me, you can start chatting. And believe me, you can just remove your internet connection also. It will work. Means you say, hi, Olama, how are you? And believe me, it is going to respond you. It is not reading from the internet. Everything, whatever is there, is right here. So the trillion or terabytes of content of internet is squeezed into some knowledge, which is known as this LLM, which is of several gigabytes. And it's not possible to squeeze terabytes into gigabytes, by the way. But this is what intelligence this Olama came, right? And by the way, I was planning to give you, means it's very, very easy. I just run one command and I can just starting chatting, right? Hi Olama, how are you? Can you explain this? Can you explain that, right? It will work without any problem. And this is what I am going to tell you in my upcoming course also, by the way, right? So what's next? The next is something which I am going to teach. This webinar is about my next course. We will be understanding LLMs in a little bit more detail. Means, see, we spend around 50 to 1 hour here. I think we should spend around 2 to 3 hours, especially in the topic of understanding LLMs. Then here we will talk about a little bit of prompting. And by the way, when you understand how these things are working, you will understand that this machine doesn't know anything. These are just about these numbers which we have calculated over the training, right? So machine who doesn't know anything is giving you all these remarkable things. And maybe your prompting will be better once you understand that. Then the second thing is give them a personal flavor. What I'm going to do is we will download the LLMs. We'll give them the personal flavor. Means we will put some of our knowledge, and this thing is known as RAG. By the way, I do not want to go into the terminology. Once it is there, then we can build an assistance for ourselves. For example, isn't it cool, guys? Means I am a network engineer, and if I can build a guy or my personal assistants who can do my 30 to 40% work, right? It is going to be interesting. And then I can do the more creative work. We will try to do this. I'm not saying that it will happen. The whole sole purpose is to remove the fear of these LLMs, to remove the fear how things are working. It is, and if you can learn this much, you can do whatever you want, right? Because now you have a foundations, the basics of this topic, and then you are doing on something on top of it. It is not going to scare you at all, right? So what is the prerequisite of this course, which will be happening from the 20th July? It is very, very simple. No prerequisite means most of my course doesn't have any prerequisite. Just wait for 1 minute for the surprise, right? If you are curious, just come into this course. Means I'm not talking if you're a network engineer, it's good. If you are not network engineer, also just come and sit, right? And here is the link of the course, means if you want. So what is the surprise? Surprise is very, very simple, right? I am giving one of my best course along with this course absolutely free, which is transmission control protocol, which is mostly asked in almost any interview. So if you are preparing for something, believe me, transmission control protocol is something which you need if you are a network engineer, right? This, which I am giving absolutely free today, is the course cost is 4,000 rupees for an year, which you will get free. And today on this course itself, the name of the course which will starting is from 20th July is artificial intelligence for network engineers, right? We will build our own personal assistants. So this way we will be starting from 20th January. The course fees is actually 5K, 5,000 rupees, but today it will be available on 40% discount to everybody, right? It means that it is only 3K, 3,000 rupees, and more than 4,000 worth of course is coming absolutely free with it. And you all know that there are going to be 10 classes. If you don't like the course itself, you can ask the website team that basically I didn't like the course, just give my money back. And we repeat this again and again. So believe me, your money is safe, right? So there is nothing to lose today. 40% discount, TCP is coming as free. If you don't like, just say I don't like, and your money is refunded. This is what I had in my mind. And now, if you have any doubt, any questions, please do ask. I can make you to come to stage also, or basically you can ask the question in the chat itself. Somebody is saying Olama is working absolutely flawless in MacBook. That is perfectly fine. Sir, where does the vectors come into picture when it comes to prediction of the next word? See, when vectors come into picture, we are talking about a bit of mathematics. Vector is just something which have the magnitude, means the number itself, as well as the direction, right? So when vectors come into picture, it is possible to do the arithmetics between numbers. We will be talking about a little bit about it in the upcoming course. Same question: how would you define an LLM? Is it a set of code? So I think I have explained it well now. I can define an LLM is just a number, right? LLM is just the knowledge which we gather by feeding the entire internet data into an algorithm, right? Which basically make these words, right, closer to each other, which make these words, similar looking word, closer to each other. And how we can define its location with these numbers, with the weights we are calling. And by the way, I didn't make you aware that the middle layers which we were drawing, right, the two boxes, that is your neural network, right? But I do not want to confuse you with a lot of words. That is why I just kept aside the machine learning portion and the neural network. But because of the neural network, it was quite possible to take the input from the one layer and feed it into the other layer. Whatever the output we are getting from this layer, we will be feeding it in another layer until we get the output. Uh, if the output is not whatever we were expecting, right? For example, sun rises in the east, and if the output predicted by this neural network is umbrella, then we need to change these numbers backward. And by the way, this is also known as your backward propagation algorithm. But do not go into this mathematics and learnings, right? If you want, then basically, definitely you can go, but it is going to eat a lot of time, right? Try to understand the gist, try to understand how exactly it is working, right? So anybody else? Okay. Sir, I joined the webinar late. Sorry to ask you this question. Will there be recording available of this webinar? Yes, yes, the recording will be available. Uh, you will be getting the recording in your email. Means I will be sending an email at the end of this webinar for sure. Right? Any doubt? Any other question, guys, which you think? Anybody? Okay, so Lalan is asking when we will be building bots, what LLMs we will be using. Let's wait for the course itself, right? There are going to be 10 classes in that, and we will be talking whatever you are asking. Don't worry, just wait. Hi, sir. Thanks for the webinar. Great info. Do we need GPU? What would be computer space? See, if you want to run a model which is having a lots and lots of parameter, which requires a lot of CPU, see, we can't get it, right? So there are going to be two approaches. One is we will try to take this Olama, which can work in our own machine, right? And I will show you. If something are not possible with the open models, we will try to do with the Claude itself, right? So I would say we do not want to buy the bigger machines for it. See, we are just trying to understand the concept, right? So we will understand the concept with some open model. Whatever we can't do with the open models, we can do with the Claude. Maybe you can you later you can buy the subscription of the Claude, the paid subscription. I think that is costs you around 2,000 to 2,500 rupees. We'll see about it. Okay. Then I think I paid 5K for the AI course. Would be the discount 40%? This is interesting. So, Sardhi, Lakshmi, please reach out to the team and they can do something. Maybe if they don't return your money, then definitely they will compensate you with something. Maybe they will offer something good in the new course. Don't worry. Means I can understand that. Thank you very much. You are most welcome. I already have TCP course. Can I get the other discount? No, this is the package, guys. So this is what. Hi Vishnu sir, should we consider machine learning course in BridgeWhy as the prerequisite? No, there is nothing, right? Prerequisite, as I mentioned, that in machine learning course we discuss some of the interesting algorithm like gradient descent also. If you don't go with those algorithms, I'm not going to teach the algorithm or the neural network or the deep learning, nothing, right? Because if I want to just explain you the deep learning portion, it is going to take maybe more than 20-30 hours, right? We are not going into that direction. Okay, but it would be great if you can just have a look at the previous course on AI which you built, which is nothing technical, but one of the most important thing which everybody needs in today's world. Any laptop configuration, I think so no laptop configuration. Maybe if you have minimum 8 to 16 GB of RAM, I think that is more than sufficient to run Olama. Or maybe if it is not there, then we will take, see, the whole sole point is to run it, to see it how exactly it is working, to see it that you are not connected to internet also, but it is producing the result, it is answering your question, right? To see that once we are good, see, the whole sole purpose is to remove the fear of all these things from our mind so that we can work effectively. And then maybe a discount on lifetime access with the with the course, we will see that. But I think we are all good till now, guys. If you have any doubt, any question, I am still here. Means whatever is coming to your mind, just write. Or maybe any active lab is there, there we can try initially. Don't worry, we will be talking about that in the course. So starting three classes will be on the LLMs itself, right? We will be looking deeply into the LLMs. We will try to run the open model into our system, right? So there we will be talking about the labs and whatever is required. But I don't think you need to spend a lot in a new machine on the laptop, because whatever we can't do with these open models, we can do with the Claude or the ChatGPT, and we can discuss about it. Maybe when we were discussing about something about MCP servers, how it works, then basically we can get the help of Claude to integrate whatever the assistant we are going to build with that. Okay. Thank you for the effort and time you put into sharing this information. You are most welcome, Mr. Yogesh. Pradeep, hi sir. Any idea when will we get this AI course in lifetime access? Approximately month. Whenever we finish this course, any course, whenever you finish, for example, if this course take 1.5 months, after 1.5 months it will be added to the lifetime access, right? And by the way, all the lifetime member can can see this class uh, can see this class or can see all the live classes also, right? You have all been already at this course have already been added into the lifetime access. So just come, just see the class timing, just be available on the time, and just click and join. No worries. And we have also added you into the group also, whoever have joined, right? Thanks, Vishnu, for the session. You are most welcome, Lalanji. I really appreciate that you give your time, your Saturday time here, because you are in US. Anybody else? Thanks, Vishnu, for the session. You are most welcome, Upendra. Okay. And I hope you have enjoyed the session. I think maybe, hi Vishnu, course will be from tomorrow or 20th July. Yeah, so we have changed the course timing and the date. So not the timing, but the date. Previously, I was thinking to start it from the 13th July, but now it will start from 20th July at the same time. This course is going to happen in the in two ways, right? In two language. One is in Hindi, which will start from the 7:30 p.m., and one in English, which will be starting from the 9 p.m. Okay, so I think Amit, you got your answer. Menon Nandini, Nandini, thanks Vishnu for the session. Thank you so much. You are most welcome. Anybody else? I can still see more than 44 people here. If they have any doubt, any question, please do ask. Right? This link or this QR code is with you in case you want to join it, right? I would be more than happy to see all of you in the class. Anybody else? Hello Vishnu, Gen AI and LLM is same. I mean LLM is work on text based. Generative AI. Yeah, generative AI basically is a wider area, means you can generate the images, you can generate the videos. But yes, LLM is large language model or one of the things uh, which is part of generative AI. If I say generative, it means that it is generating something which was not there at all, right? And that is the mind blowing thing. Okay. So thank you so much for the informative session. My interest picked when you shared the history of a wow. And actually, I was thinking, Sailasya, that people will not like the history, but day by day, I am figuring it out that if history is presented in an interesting way, people love it, right? Because if you know the history, you can understand what is going on right now. In my previous course, when I asked many people that, can you tell me what should I learn in this AI world so that I can be relevant in the long term? Believe me, I have taken more than 20 people interview, right? But I didn't get the answer. I got the answer in the history, which I explained in my previous course. Again, I'm saying that is one of the best course I have ever prepared, because that just doesn't, that is, see, technology is fine, but that course was talking about the investment, personal finance, as well as human networking, which is very, very important for all the network engineers, for all the engineers in coming time, by the way. Then somebody is saying, thank you, sir, for the informative session. Yeah, your interest picked up. Will this class happen twice a week? We will see that, but mostly it will be thrice a week. Great session, Shaleen. Thank you so much. Mandar Tambe, uh, setting up your engineering workshop with will be covered, which will be covered. Yeah, means we will be covering that. Mandar. Anybody else, guys? Any question? Okay. Will the course be helpful for the people who are not working in networking? It is going to be helpful for everybody, I am saying, right? If you get if you get something out of today's, means if you understand maybe 10 to 15% of today's webinar, believe me, whatever we are going to teach in those 10 sessions, it is not going to be difficult than that. If we are doing coding, we will be doing vibe coding. The meaning is we will be asking, see, I choose computer networking so that I do not need to code, right? I hate coding. I didn't make sense, but believe me, the things changed, right? And now basically you can do the coding or you can do the programming with the help of AI. You just write what you want, and it will create. And this is what we are going. And but yeah, this is good. Means if you understand the structure of a program, it will be good. But if you don't, then still you can do wonders in today's world. Then somebody, I like the story when you were explaining the cloth factory, when you related the modern AI changes, it was very connecting. Yeah, thank you so much, Laranji. That, by the way, that the cloth factory, the previous was the explanation from the previous course. If you want to have a look at it, please have a look at it. Anybody? Any other question? We still have 34 people. They are sitting silently. I'm not sure. Means if you have any doubt, any question, please ask. Upendra, in my organization, we are building AI agents for network and firewalls to interact between different monitoring tools and other tools. Can you give little outline how it works? Once you spend almost 10 hours with me in this course, Upendra, believe me, these things are going to be making sense. These things make more sense to you. But whatever I explain it now, it is not going to be up to mark because we haven't built that foundation still. Anybody else? Thank you so much for your question, Upendra, Lalan, Salil, and then Mandar, Tambe. Anybody else? Guys, ask your question. Great Vishnu, thank you. Thank you so much, Upendra. And thank you so much who are just registering now. I can see many people have registered by seeing. I think the offer is really irresistible because because nothing to lose today. Amit Soni is saying amazing session. Thank you for this. Thank you so much for giving me your time on Sunday, Mr. Amit. You are most welcome. And I think we are good. I think we are good. Can we relate to AWS NVIDIA AI course after this course? See, this is going to make, see, for example, if you want to learn networking, something which is very important is to understand IP addressing and the concept of switching, right? So this is very, very basics, right? And I personally believe that your foundations or basics are strong, you can build on top of it. See, if you do not know anything about a concept and if you just go and learn about the NVIDIA thing and other things, right? If they explain well with the foundations, definitely you will get it. But I want everybody in this world, right? I though I don't have that kind of reach, but believe me, I want everybody in this world to be with me in this course to understand what exactly is happening behind the scene when we talk, when we tell LLM, when we talk about AI, right? At least this much you should know. Okay. Anybody else? I think, okay. There are no final quote miles to miles. There are no final quote miles to miles. Miles to miles. Mile to miles. I understand that. Thank you for your comment. Mandar Tambe. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Okay, then we are all set. Uh, 20 miles to 100 miles. Yeah, see, so it is as good as if you want to learn AI. I always say that this course is going to give you starting five, means if you want to go or if you want to cover 100 miles distance in AI, right? This course, which will happen from 20th July, will cover only the starting 10 miles, right? But those 10 miles or 5 miles are going to be solid, believe me, right? I always said that to begin any course, right? Some people say my BGP course is expert level course. Some people say just the foundations. But believe me, it depends. Where are you with respect to your BGP journey, right? My always my goal is to teach you foundations because I know, right, if any engineers learn foundation, he can build an empire on top of it without any doubt. So okay, the comment is good. I think I have given the analogy 20 miles to 100 miles. I mean, perfect, perfect, perfect. I think we are good. And wow. Okay, guys, still the link is at the link you can see. I have recorded. I will be sharing. I have recording this entire conversation. I will be sharing it with you. Once again, I would like to tell you thank you so much for giving your time on this beautiful Sunday morning, right? If possible, if you agree, right, see you in the next class, right, which will be happening on 20th July, the first class of this course, and let's build an assistant which may help us in the future. Having said that, bye for now.